Hello. How lovely to be with you again. Thank you. I'm a reader, lay reader at the Church of the Good Shepherd in Carshalton Beaches. I feel very at home here, so thank you. Following Jesus makes your life better. I know, that's a bit of an uncompromising way to begin a sermon, isn't it? It's a pretty dangerous claim to make. If I said it in a TV advert, I don't think the Advertising Standards Authority would allow it. But this is what I personally have found to be true. And in the ordinary business of earning money, sorting out relationships, going to church, doing the shopping, I sometimes think we forget why we're doing this whole Christianity thing. The reason for it all sort of gets lost in the undergrowth of living from day to day. Why are we Christians? It's because following Jesus makes your life better. Blimey, I've said it twice now. I'm going to have to come up with something to back it up. A conscious choice to follow Jesus changes people. If you've made that choice, then day by day, you're accompanied and directed through life by an unseen presence. The way the writer of the letter to the Colossians puts it, in the first Bible reading we listened to, is like this. You have taken off your old self with its practices, and you've put on the new self, which is being renewed in the image of its creator. Way back when I was starting my working life, I worked for a publisher, and I remember my boss telling me the two most potent words that are ever used in advertising are free and new. And until the Advertising Standards Authority drags me out of All Saints, yelling as I go, I'm going to keep saying it. As a Christian, you are all new, and it's a gift that's completely free. I am relentlessly positive about the Christian faith and its founder, Jesus. It is good news. That's what gospel means, incidentally. It means news that is good. I just don't get people who say, you ought to be religious, it's going to be a pain in the neck your whole life, but then you'll go to heaven and it will be worth it. I just don't get that. The reason that I'm a Christian is that after I made a decision that following Jesus would be the mainstay of my life, several remarkable things happened. I found an extraordinary sense of purpose in life. I've found things making sense that don't make sense any other way. I've become a better person because I've been living for the benefit of other people instead of just selfishly. And most odd of all, I've been really happy. It's not winning the lottery, and it's perfectly possible that I'm the only person in the world for whom it's worked like that. But you can see why, in my quiet way, I'm pretty upbeat about it all. You are reconciled to God, and everything has changed. And here is Paul saying it in the proper way in the Bible passage. For you died, and your life is now hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory. But there is a challenge to this beautiful new identity that you've got. There is a challenge because you don't have to let Jesus Christ raise you up into this new identity. No one's going to force you. There is another nature which you could allow to shape your life. The Bible passage explained what that other nature looks like. Sexual immorality, impurity, greed, Sorry, I don't want to spoil your Sunday morning by making you think of these things. Anger, filthy language, lying. They're in the same Bible passage as all that beautiful stuff, so I have to keep going. Internet porn, avoiding paying your tax, vile opinions about foreigners. That's strange. I'm sure those weren't there the first time I looked. Road rage, damaging the fragile environment, going on the lash and waking up in a gutter. I really am going to have to get my eyes tested, you know. Don't go back to these, writes Paul. With all that Jesus offers you, new and free, don't go back to these. And now I'm sad to say I'm going to do a complicated bit. I'm going to try and explain a bit of St. Paul's theology. There's brilliant stuff in that Bible passage, but I have to admit that wonderful though he was, Paul was not one of the world's elegant writers. All his ideas in those letters are rammed in so thick and fast that it's really difficult to follow his train of thought. If he was writing for the Church Times, which I do quite often, my editor would never have let him get away with it. So bear with me. This is what Paul is wanting to say. When Jesus died, it was no ordinary death. It was his gift to everybody in the world. One man died for everyone. So therefore, sort of, everyone died when Jesus died. But Jesus did not stay dead. This is absolutely central to the Christian faith. Jesus is raised from the dead. Not just the old Jesus we thought we knew so well. He is a new creation who has passed through death into life. So, if you are one with Jesus, if you're united with Jesus, all of us sort of rose from the dead with him at the very moment of Jesus' resurrection. We too are a new creation that will live eternally. As from that first Easter Sunday, we look at ourselves and we look at each other in a completely new way. A new identity, completely new. Richard Dawkins, who has tried so hard to discredit religious belief, is someone who is loved more than he could conceivably imagine and precious to God. Horace Knowles, who has problems with personal hygiene and walks home from Lidl every Wednesday carrying a loaf of sliced bread and a copy of What's on TV, is eternal and at the very centre of God's plan. Claudette Billings, who has views about the interpretation of the Bible so unlike yours that it's all you can do to stop yourself blurting out, "Don't be ridiculous," is your irreplaceable sister on a journey alongside you to God's heart. And you who have such a stressful life that even at this moment your shoulders are tensed up right under your ears, someone was prepared to die for you because he found you to be so beautiful. A new life began for you too. You are living as God's own people now. No going back. But we do go back, don't we? There's this battle going on. You know your life is made better by following Jesus. And then you completely lose your cool and scream at the children when it's actually a problem of your own that's stressing you out. And then you feel dreadful. Or something infuriates you and you make a racist comment because you'd rather blame someone's skin colour than work out a solution. And then you feel disgusting. Or you stay up until 3 a.m. playing on the Xbox and then upset everyone in the office because you're not thinking before you speak. And then you're sick because you know it's your own tiredness that's making you vile. Why are you feeling dreadful, disgusting, vile? because that's not really you. That was the sinful nature. That side of you was dead and buried, and you've dug up the corpse. No wonder you feel so. But set your minds on things above, not on earthly things, for you died, and your life is now hidden with God. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory. I mean, that's enough to get you back on track, isn't it? A new identity. Another of the new free things that you've been thinking about in this series of sermons. Marvelous. You are being renewed in the knowledge of the image of your Creator, and it will make your life better. Oh, let it be so. Let it be so. Amen.
Amen.